Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? I just want to do a quick sound check before we get started. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? I just want to do. All right. Okay, can you all tell me if you can hear me now? Okay, is that yes? I see yes from Dorothy, Clarissa. Super, thank you. Okay, great. All right, if you can all do me a big favor, if you are on Blackboard right now, can you please log off of that platform? I'm not able to log in, and I need to show you the classroom. Now, let me try this again. Okay, hopefully Jim will get back to me really soon. All right, let me just take a moment to introduce myself. Let me put something else on this screen. There we go. My name is Sandra Gonzalez, and I'm going to be your instructor for the next 3 weeks. We are so excited to have all of you on board for this class, and I know you're going to get a lot out of it. Just a little bit about me. I am also a VWise graduate. It's really because of these programs through IVMF. I've been through VWise, and afterwards, like I think 2 months afterwards, I went to the Entrepreneurship Boot Camp for Veterans Families, and then after that I went through Boots to Business. But I can honestly say that it was because of these programs that I was actually able to take what I was already doing for free. I was able to take my idea and launch a business and monetize it. And so I've been doing this for quite a few years now. It was actually a new industry for me. I'm an educator, and we design e-learning, so I had to spend a lot of time I had to spend a lot of time learning the industry. Hold on 1 second. Valerie, can you hear me now? Can anybody else hear me? I just want to make sure. Okay. Let me just type in to the chat room. Can anyone hear the audio? I know Blackboard is down right now. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show it to you, but we can still talk about the assignments and everything else. Okay, let me go ahead and let me fix this for 1 second. Okay. Can you I know Blackboard is down right now. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show it to you, but we can still talk about Okay, Dorothy, and Norma, can you still hear me? If you can just type in yes or no. Valerie, you may need to either close out your YouTube browser and then try again, or you can try clicking refresh on your screen. It could also be your settings. All right. Okay, good. So everybody else has audio. And even if you can't hear me right now, this is being recorded, so you'll be able to get to it later. And I'm sorry for all of the technical difficulties right now. If you are just joining us, please log off of Blackboard. I'm really hoping that by the time I get through all the documents, I will be able to show you the classroom. So anyway, let me go ahead and share my history again. It really was because of all of these courses that I was able to launch my business. I'm really hoping that, actually I already know that for each of you, you will get as much out of this course as all of us have. There have been a lot of lifelong friendships that have come out of VWise, as well as the other programs, and I really wish you all much success with your businesses, and I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of success stories come out of this class. Okay? All right. Super. Okay, Valerie. Hold on 1 second. Okay, here we go. All right, let's go through some of the files. You should have received the agenda in the email, so I just want to cover what to expect. These are the most frequently asked questions. I have been teaching for IVMF for 5 years now. I've taught for almost all of their entrepreneurship programs, which is kind of funny because I don't have an MBA. It was primarily because of all the instruction and the mentorship that I've received through them that I was able to win seed capital, and then they brought me back on board as an instructor. So What we're going to cover today are a lot of, some of it's academic and some of it is what I've learned from your peers from all over the world, people who were just starting new businesses or who have run very successful businesses and are looking to scale, okay? So let's go over some of the things that you absolutely need to know. The discussion forums, those are mandatory and they are due by midnight Eastern Standard Time of whatever day they are assigned. I wish I could show you the YouTube, not the YouTube, the Blackboard classroom. I may end up having to record this again and then send you all the link later. Hold on one second. There is a calendar when you get to the Blackboard page. It'll be to your right. I know some of you were already able to log in earlier, but wherever you see your picture, if you go to that, if you click on your picture, basically, it'll bring down the drop-down menu, and then if you click on the calendar, it will show you all the dates and times that the discussion forums are due. Those are the only things that you need to turn in. These written assignments, some of them are in the feasibility analysis tool. Those do not need to be turned into me, okay? This is something that you would want to go over with a business counselor, and this will take several visits for you to be able to complete, and that's because of all the analysis that goes into it. And those research reports, some of them, which I will go over the next 2 weeks and throughout the course, some of them you can only get through some of the different business counselors, all right? I don't want to overwhelm you with too much information right now, but I'll get back to this tool in a little bit. Okay, the other thing that I want to talk about are the Mullins questions. So as you go throughout the agenda, which I will talk about here in a little bit, the assignments, let me see if I can pull it up really quick. Whatever assignments it shows you, the written ones don't need to be turned in, and this is what the book actually looks like. It's this PDF, okay? Those just hold on to, keep for yourselves. It is for your benefit, but it's something that you can share with either a business counselor or a mentor or even some of your classmates. You'll get some really good feedback, and it's what will help you as you are planning out your venture. Okay, and then the feasibility analysis, which we talked about, this one doesn't need to be turned into me. This is something that you can review with a business counselor or a really good mentor, okay? They'll give you some really good feedback that will help you to either launch your business or to grow your business. All right, the syllabus. As you go through the syllabus, I'll get to that later, the questions for the Mullins book, because everybody gets confused. We've had several editions, and sometimes when we used to have the books that were mailed out, they didn't always match. But what you need to know is that if it gives you a question, it's always at the end of the chapter. So let me just scroll down a little bit, and you can tell which questions they are, because it's almost easier to go to the next chapter and then go up one page, and they're always in gray. Okay, all right. So that's that about the new business, the Mullins questions. All right. All right, and the page numbers are for the PDF of the new business road test. These should be updated, okay? Every time we get a new edition, everything has to be fixed, but it's at the bottom of the page. If for some reason you do have a book, like if you've gotten it online or from the library, some of those page numbers may be at the top, okay? But for most of you who are just using the PDF, use the page numbers at the bottom. All right, and I'm not the one to ask about the books. All I do is just facilitate the online course, so I'm not really involved with any of the logistics to include your registration or anything having to do with the 3-day conference. But if you have any questions about the course, how it applies to your business, I'm the one to go to. And if there are any questions about the technology, like it's not working, you can't log in, go to Jim. My help with the technology is super limited, but Jim is the right person to go to. Okay, let me, you know what, I can't even see any of the questions. All right. Okay, good. Everybody can hear. Super. I'm really excited about that. It is much more helpful if you can participate in the live orientation as well as the 2 office hours next week, because it gives me a chance to answer your questions in person, okay? All right, so syllabus, Blackboard Classroom. Some of this has changed. We have been using Moodle for 4 years, and then it was switched to Blackboard, so a lot of the instructions need to be updated, okay? We're working as fast as we can. Some of it we can fix during the course, some of it we can't, but you bringing it up to our attention helps us to be able to fix things. The IVMF Resource Library. I wish I could show you this classroom. Let me see. If you have any issues with accessing the classroom, which is going to happen a lot, make sure you clear your browsing history. It's a lot easier for me to try this on Moodle than it is, on Firefox than it is on Chrome. And then try it again, okay? Let me see if this will work. You do have to open a new tab, just like I did here. Sometimes this takes me 3 or 4 tries, especially when everybody's on here at the same time. Okay, so notice how I just cleared it. I'm gonna open a new tab, I'm gonna close out the old one, and then I'm gonna click on the Blackboard tab. Okay, so since it's not working, I'm going to either end up doing screenshots or I will record myself later showing you important things about the classroom. So my apologies for this. I really wish it was working. The IVMF Resource Library, let me see if I can at least bring that up. Okay, at least this works. You will want to bookmark this. This has a lot of free resources for you for all topics related to entrepreneurship. It looks like they move things around. If you just click on it, every time I try to teach this class and I click on whatever it is that I need, they've moved everything. So let me see. There used to be a page just for entrepreneurship, and it's here. Let me see if I can blow this up so you can see it. But here's the page for entrepreneurship, and then it'll bring you to all sorts of resources. This was organized differently, and now it's a little bit different. I'm going to show this to you later. I don't know what is going on with all the technology today, but it's for some reason it's not working. Anyway, when you get to the resource library, it should give you a lot of free resources as well as videos. The videos are what you really want to look at, and it'll walk you through either a business plan, funding. I think there's some stuff on here for nonprofits because we always have nonprofits in the group, and a lot of other resources. Okay, so just take a look at that at your earliest convenience. Let me go back to the agenda. All right. If you see any references to Moodle, it should read Blackboard. So just cross out anything that says Moodle on it, and I need to fix this. And Blackboard, just so you know, just like Moodle, if you're still using that for a different class, it works best with Chrome and Firefox. So just do the best you can. When we are all able to log back into Blackboard with the discussion forums, if you can at least reply to, let me write on this. If you can reply to at least 2 classmates' posts in each of the forums, except for the I Made It forum, that one you'll want to meet as many people as possible, and that's the whole purpose of this conference, is the networking. That'll give you a head start before you get there. But for each of the other forums, just reply to 2 people, and that should be good enough. The individual assignments, which I talked about, these you want to talk to with a business counselor, somebody who can spend like at least an hour or 2 with you during a visit, and they can go through it with you in detail, okay? And they can pull up a lot of resources online, like those IBIS reports, if they have that subscription, or any of the other data tools, business data tools that are available out there, okay? All right, that is the agenda in a nutshell. Let me just go through each of the other course files. Okay. All right, good. Nobody else is asking any questions so far. Okay, good. So the syllabus, let's go through this. Really, this course is just about, exploration, and the foundations of entrepreneurship. If you're already in business and you're really just looking to scale, there's something in here for everybody. And the feasibility analysis tool is what is really going to help you with that sort of analysis, that higher level analysis to see where you need to go from here, okay? There'll be a lot of industry experts at the 3-day conference, so the more you are writing down your thoughts and putting them on paper and doing the homework assignments, the more clarity you will have going into the conference so that you can have some really good targeted discussions with those industry experts, okay? Some of them will be charging you $100 or more an hour for their time, and you're going to be getting it for free basically at the conference. So it really does pay off to do the readings and then doing the analysis with the homework, okay? All right, let's go ahead. We're going to go through this, not today, but throughout the course. And then the office hours on next Monday and the following Monday is when I can really go through it with you and help you do a deep dive with your specific venture. Try and limit it to just one, but if you do want feedback from your second venture, and usually what I see is that people have a for-profit venture as well as a non-profit venture, and that's perfectly fine, because usually what they do is they use their for-profit to help fund the non-profit. Okay, just it's almost better to just stay focused on one idea so you can see the process. It's the same regardless of whether you are starting a nonprofit or doing a new for-profit business, because we get a lot of people who've taken their hobby, monetized it, and they've kind of outgrown it, and they're looking for something new at this point. This process is the same regardless of what you're doing and regardless of your industry. It really is all about the research, both the big picture as well as the smaller picture, the micro analysis by talking to your customers. But we're going to go through that with the different readings. There's some videos online too, and then I'm available to help you answer your questions. Okay. Let me check. Maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe it's up. There's different forums available. Let me see. There's like 4 or 5 discussion forums. The one I wanted to point out, there's 2 of them. One is the Ask the Class forum, and the other one is the Ask the Expert forum. So when you are able to log in, take a look at those. The Ask the Class forum is exactly what it says. It's for you to be able to connect with your classmates and ask questions that aren't even related to the topics for the other discussion forums. So usually what people do is they look for people in their area just so you can connect ahead of time, maybe even carpool or just get together for lunch. It's a really nice networking tool. It's also a way to get some feedback on your ideas. The Ask the Expert forum is for me. I'm the only one monitoring that forum. I'm not really an expert, because you can't be an expert at everything, but I can direct you to resources that are either very, very good or highly recommended or have worked well for others, okay, especially for other students. So if you have any specific questions that you can share with all of us, do ask that in my forum so I can use that as a teaching example for everyone. If you are patenting a product, if you are developing something that has, trade secrets involved, please don't share that with us at all. Okay, you can ask me about it privately, either via email or we can talk about it over the phone. But do your best to at least give enough information so you can get feedback from your peers. Usually what people want to do is they don't want to give any information whatsoever. Well, you know what? When I went to one of the Inc. They used to have the Inc. Military Entrepreneur Program for Inc. magazine. Like thousands of people at this conference. They'll bring in the producers from Shark Tank and they'll come and talk to everybody there. Basically, if you've already thought of it, somebody's already doing it. So the chance of somebody stealing your idea is slim to none. Usually what your competitors want to do is they're going to wait and see if you can actually monetize it and grow a following, and then they will copy your idea. So if you're patenting something or doing something that involves trade secrets, share enough information so we can kind of give you some feedback on, oh, this is the pain point that I really want you to solve. You don't even have to tell us the features, and that will give you some really valuable information as to how to iterate your product so that it can meet the specific needs of your niche, okay? And we're going to go through all of this more in depth throughout the course. Okay, it's okay, good. We still have some time. What else can I talk about? Let's go through the syllabus some more. I know most of you have already had a chance to kind of look this over. If you don't have internet access and you want to print this out, the nice thing about this is that it gives you all the assignments. Okay, so here we are on day 1. These assignments will take you very little time to complete, especially the first one. So you could actually just type it out if you're not even near, if you don't have internet access, you can still type it out and have it ready to go for when it does come up. Or in this case, when Blackboard ever gets up, or when you're traveling and you finally have access somewhere to like a coffee shop where you can just upload your discussion. Okay, so it's all broken up by days. Okay, I'm just trying to bookmark it for myself because it makes it easier. But let me see if I can bring you to the last part. If you go all the way to the very end of the syllabus, these are the last few pages. I'm going to go ahead and go to the thumbnails because that's the easiest way to get to it. When you get to the last 2 pages, this gives you the course table. Really depends on how you learn best, what format you like. If you're a big picture person, this will work well for you because it's a calendar format. If you like lists, then I would just go ahead and use the syllabus up here. Okay, then it goes through it in detail. So you honestly could finish this course in the next 4 days and it would be fine. I'm fine with that. I don't care if you turn things in early because as we get through the course, everybody gets behind, and the last week everybody's scrambling. So just keep me posted. If you need to turn things in late, I'm fine with that. But the cutoff for for grades from me, as well as any feedback, is the last day of the course. All right. Do your best to just let me know what's going on in your life. Okay. I will do my best to provide whatever accommodations you need. Okay. All right. Super. Okay. Let's talk about the nuts and bolts guide. I know that they've switched to the digital format for all of these, but you can honestly you can find all of this stuff like on eBay for really cheap if you needed to have it printed out. I would talk to Kiara first if this doesn't work for you and see if they still have any of the hard copies left. Okay, so when you get to the nuts and bolts guide, it's exactly what it says. It gives you the nuts and bolts for planning your business. A lot of people will find this overwhelming. It really is a super effective way for planning out your business. I just want to show you a few things about this. It's only 44 pages. If you needed to print it out, it's not going to take up too much of your resources. The key thing about the nuts and bolts guide, let me see if I can just find an easier way to show it to you, is that it's question prompted. Okay, it's not just a checklist. So what it does is it gets you to think about how you're going to do something. All right, so the difference between your feasibility analysis versus a business plan is this one tells you, will your business work? This answers the question of, will your business or will your concept, your idea work? Because it's data driven. It's going to be based on the numbers. Whereas a business plan will give you information about how you will make your business work. Okay? And this is something that I can go over with you either individually or during office hours when we meet next Monday. Okay? And I'll explain more of that later. So as you go through the nuts and bolts guide, okay, this is where it actually starts. All you really need to do is just underline the questions that pertain to your industry and just jot down a few notes. And then from there, you can type it into your feasibility analysis, or for some of you who do need to develop a business plan, just type it into either a Microsoft Word document or a Google Docs. Okay, that's the easiest way to do it. And then a business counselor can give you feedback on that. So that's the nuts and bolts guide. You will have some homework assignments in here. If you have any questions about it, please please reach out to me, especially if it's in the Ask the Expert form, because then it becomes a teaching tool for everybody else. Okay? All right. This is one of your other reading assignments, the Introduction to Business Ownership. Just skim through it. There's not a whole lot in here. We don't do as much in here as we do with the New Business Road Test, but it's still a good book to have. All right. Okay. And then we've talked about the feasibility analysis. And when we meet next Monday, just have your homework ready. Whatever it is that you want me to help you with, I can walk you through the steps when we meet online. Okay. Do we have any questions so far? I'm kind of limited because I can't get to the course. Let me try Chrome. Let me see if that'll work. Let me see if Jim has emailed me back. Okay, nope. All right, this is still not running. What else can I answer for you? I'm so sorry that we can't get to the classroom right now. What other questions do you have? Yes, Valerie, it does only print out to 15 days. So it's 15 days spread out over 3 weeks. But you are correct. So basically 5 days each week for 3 weeks. I hope that makes sense. You do have the weekends off to get caught up on things. This course is really self-paced, self-directed. As long as you get everything in before you actually go to the conference, you should be good. Okay, so the question on the chat room is if we have issues accessing the course over the next few weeks and cannot complete the discussions on time, should we email you? Yes, please email me. I think it's just for tonight, and I think a lot of your classmates are probably online trying to post their discussions, so sometimes it just kind of shuts down. Definitely keep me posted. I will definitely probably be the first to know when it's not up, because I'm always on there, especially in the evenings, reading your discussions and either giving you credit or and sometimes giving you feedback if I see you either struggling or needing clarification. So yes, and I'm going to answer the questions on the chat room. Before I forget, this course, it's not for academic credit. You get full credit as long as you post a discussion, and that's it, all right? Everybody's going to pass as long as you turn in the discussion forums. Okay, let me answer a few of these questions online. Okay. Are the business counselors available at the conference, or do we need to find them locally? This is an excellent question. You will want as many different business counselors as you can find. The industry experts that they're bringing, some of them are experts, subject matter experts in their specific fields. I'm not sure who's going to be there at this conference. So that's why they're going to actually be, and they always bring in great speakers. So for those specific speakers there, they're usually at the top of their field. So for them, it would be good to just bring in whatever specific questions you have. But you can get a business counselor anywhere. They're here are some of the resources. The Small Business Administration, and every class we have a lot of people who have been business counselors. So they can also help you with this. Some of them actually will go and answer the questions in the forums before I can even get to them. So here's the SBA. There will be someone there to talk about funding through the Small Business Administration. This is one of my favorite resources here. These business counselors through the Small Business Development Center. Okay, they just tend to have, they have several in each state, so they just have more buying power. I don't even know what to call it. They tend to have the subscriptions to the IBIS report. And that I will talk about next week. I should probably talk about it now. The Small Business Development Centers, I wish I could get a real website here instead of what I'm getting now. These provide more of the technical tools, so stuff like in-depth market analysis. What else do they provide? Some of them, I think they might provide valuation if you needed it. There's a lot of different types of business resources. They can refer you to manufacturers, the exporting.gov. There's a lot of things that they do well, and I wish I could find them for you right now. Here, I'm going to type in, since everybody's in New York, I'm going to type in New York, and maybe that will bring it up. Okay, here it is. So if you find your state and type in Small Business Development Center, this is where you can get another business counselor. There's also the VBOC, PTAC. Very good. Very good. So people are already writing it into this chat room. I think I've already lost that question. So yes, I would encourage you to find them not just at the conference but locally, because you're gonna have a lot of questions that come up, and they can provide you with those resources. Okay, can we only get this information from Blackboard? Which information are you talking about, Colleen? A lot of the resources that are on Blackboard, you should be able to download and keep in your toolbox and refer back to it. If there are specific resources that people share on the discussion forums, I would just copy and paste them and just keep them on your hard drive or your cloud drive. Okay, Dorothy's question is, will a person who has an MBA qualify as a business counselor? Absolutely. Ask them what they like to do. That's the best way to figure out what their strengths are. Some of them are really good at marketing. Some of them only like to focus on the numbers. So that's why you want to meet as many different people as possible so that they are working within their strengths so that they can help you move forward. That was an excellent question. Okay. Is there a backup plan if we have a trouble turning in assignments? It depends on what, yes, just reach out to me. I'm very easygoing about making accommodations. If you need to get things in late, that's fine. Honestly, these discussion forums can take you like 2 hours to finish. They're really, really short. Plus, they're really designed to just get you thinking about your concept, okay? They don't have to be detailed. As far as those written assignments, you can take your time with them. If you can't get through all the readings, skim through them, go through whatever you can get done for those assignments, because you're not going to finish them during the course. You need to have some of these reports. I'm going to share this one right now. IBIZ or IBIZ, I don't know what it's called, World Report. Okay, here you go. Don't pay for these reports. Go through these business counselors. That's what they're for. Okay, this one is not scrolling. So they have reports on every single industry. Let me see. I think somebody was I went through the first few discussions earlier. Somebody was in education. Okay. So we want the report for the United States because you're going to compete locally if you have a brick and mortar, unless you have an online business like mine. Okay, I've had students in Germany. These were the same students I've been teaching for years. They moved there and they just stick with me. So anyway, this will give you all the numbers that you need. So that's why you really want to connect with these counselors. If you fall behind on the assignments, your backup plan is to get the discussion forums done first, okay? You can always work on the written assignments later. Can I tell us what we can expect from the conference? Yes and no. Yes, you can expect a lot of great inspirational training and a lot of fun meeting your peers. I don't have the agenda. They're still finalizing it for who the speakers are. There is a sample agenda online here. Let me, this will help you since we can't get to the classroom right now. I'm going to bring up the VWise, is it VWise IVMF page? Okay, so when you get to VWise, when you go to phase 2. Here it is, phase 2. Especially if you have to buy a plane ticket. This is the sample agenda. Just download it. I'm going to blow up this page so you can see. So there, Kiara and Deanna always have a webinar after the online course ends, so they'll be able to answer your specific questions. They usually do a live stream from the hotel, so you can see where the registration table is going to be, and you actually get a chance to see them in person and to meet them. So day 1 is that Friday when you all get there, and so from 11 to 4 is just registration. If you need to arrive late, please talk to Kiara. She takes care of all of that. I'm not involved with that at all. But on Friday, you will have the opportunity to get a professional headshot. I definitely highly recommend this. The line is long, so make sure that you get in there early. And then basically it's just the opening reception and the networking. It is a lot of fun. People just come away from there just completely blown away. You get to see the possibilities for entrepreneurship. But I think more importantly for all of you is that you get to connect with your sister veterans and military spouses. And there's something so special about that. There's such a high level of energy there and camaraderie that you're not going to find in most places because we share so many common experiences. So this is going to be really exciting for you, and the online course is just a prep for that, all right? So you have a full day on Sunday and then a half of a full day, a full day on Saturday and then half of a full day on Sunday, all right? Any of your travel arrangements, anything related to the 3-day conference, talk to Kiara, okay? She can answer all of your questions on there. Okay, if you don't have a business counselor, just start looking for one. What I did when I first started, because I really wasn't sure about starting a business, what happened was I graduated with my master's in nursing administration. It was the equivalent of an MBA for non-financial managers. I couldn't find a job, and I live in a military town, which is really ironic, right? Nobody wanted to hire me because I was a military spouse. I was also active duty, but they couldn't. It's illegal to say that. They're not allowed to ask you questions like that. But I just knew because in my field, which was healthcare informatics, it costs $100,000 to train somebody like me. So I knew that nobody could say it, but that's why they were hesitant to hire me. So somebody gave me a flyer about starting a business, and I thought, oh, well, look into it. I really didn't think anything of it, that I would ever start my business. But after I went to that tax workshop, all the business counselors were there, and I started to talk to them, and they gave me information, and I went back and met with them. And it was a very long, cumbersome road, but that's how I ended up starting my business, okay? Just keep connecting with people. They are so excited when they know that you do want to start a business, and they are so willing to go out and help you as long as you are willing to put in the effort, okay? I hope that answers your question, but that's how you can start on the path to looking for different business counselors. Okay, where is the feasibility study located? It's when you can get back into Blackboard, there's a box that says content. It's on, if you were looking at, if this was Blackboard, it would be on the left-hand side. The right-hand side under your name are the global features. The left-hand side when you're in the classroom are all the controls for everything in the classroom, and there will be one that says content. It's blue, okay, and that's where you can download it. Okay, Colleen, I see the answer to your question, and now I'm trying to find your original question. Can we only get this information from Blackboard? Where are the discussion forums? The discussion forums, when the site comes back up, let me see if I can go back in there. The discussion forums, there'll be a blue, again, that menu on the left-hand side, there'll be a button that says discussions. Let me see if it's up. Okay, good. Thank you. I hope this works. Did you see how, if you haven't logged in and you're having trouble logging in, make sure you click Other Blackboard User, and it should bring you to this screen and you should be able to log in. Oh, I am so glad this is finally up. Okay, when you get to this first page, It's just a general home page. Wow, they just wiped out my picture. Oh, this happened in the last class too. When you get here and you click on your name, these are all the features for the global Blackboard environment. When I talked about the calendar earlier, okay, this is when you can. This is where you'll see all the assignments that are due. Okay, everything's due by midnight Eastern Standard Time. I'm not a stickler for it. Just get it in. I don't care if it's on the weekend. Just get them all in, and then you'll be good. You'll be able to relax and pack and get ready for the course. So you have 3 weeks to get just the discussion forums in. Don't worry about the written assignments if you get behind. Those are things that you can think about while you're either on the plane or maybe even driving. Just dictate it into Siri or whatever it is that you need to do. So this part here again, global features. If you click on, see how this notification just came up? This will tell you what it is that either people have posted. In my case, it's whatever needs to get graded. So the idea hot wash, there's different ways to get into whatever it is that you need. People, you're already posting to the idea hot wash? Okay, so this is great. What a good class. Let me go ahead and just open up the I Made It forum. So people are working ahead. So I think that's fabulous. No wonder Blackboard shut down. Okay, so once you make it into the I Made It forum, okay, wow, 20 already. By the end of the week, there'll be like 800 discussions in just this one forum alone. So it's a great way to connect. I know that the instructions said something different. We've been using the same content for the past 4 to 5 years. I mean, nobody thought this course would last this long. So now that it's on Blackboard, make sure you use create a thread instead of whatever it said earlier. I've changed it. Somebody told me about it, and now the instructions are correct. So once you click on that, type in your subject, make it catchy so people within your industry or your location can find you real easily. Type in your stuff here. Hopefully you can see this. Yeah, I only have about 15 minutes left. And then if you want to attach a file, if you want to show off your picture, that would be great. We want to meet you. We want to see who you are. Nobody's going to share your stuff. You can attach a file here, and then if you're not ready to submit it, just save it as a draft or just click submit and then it'll go through. This one will actually let you edit it. I don't really want to click submit, but even if I were to do it, it would give me an option to edit my post later. Okay, good. I'm glad this finally came up. So the menu on the left-hand side, everything that is blue relates to the course. Okay, so if you go back to the home page, this is where you will find all the replay videos. They will automatically populate here. You'll see the actual video, and you can watch it either here or on the YouTube channel. The attachments are right underneath. This should be updated. I'll take a look later. And then when we get to office hours, I know I talked to somebody earlier. The YouTube link I sent out wasn't working, but she was able to access it right here directly on the course page. I'm going to delete this. We're no longer going to use the phone conference line next week. I want everyone to just log into Zoom. I actually live in Oklahoma. I don't have access to a lot of the things that are at Syracuse in New York, and so I couldn't even control the conference line. I will delete this later. Please make sure you are just clicking on Zoom. It'll give you the option to either just call in as part of a conference line, but most people actually log in and they show their webcam. So it's great. You get a chance to really connect with your classmates before the 3-day conference. And a lot of people use the Zoom platform during our office hours. One time there were like 3 to 4 pages of just like 30, all of you. And I couldn't even see everybody all at the same time. All right, so that's just a really good way to connect. I want to finish going through these buttons. The content, somebody asked about that earlier. This is where you can find all of the documents and download them. So the feasibility analysis tool is down here. Okay, if you are eligible for benefits, that guidebook is here. All of the things that were sent to you earlier by Kiara are somewhere on this site. And as you go down even more, here's where you can get to the IBMF resource library. Let me see if it'll let me open it up in a new link. There, okay. Here it is. This is the correct page. You definitely want to bookmark this page, but here are all the topics that you want access to for entrepreneurship, especially after the course ends, because people always have questions about the financials, and there are a lot of good videos here, okay? I know that you're going to be drinking from a fire hose over the next 3 weeks. We're going to be just bombarding you with a lot of resources. Just file them and put them away, and when you need them, you'll be able to find them. Okay, all right. The rest of these I'm going to talk about later. If I know everybody's wondering about the conference, I think that Kiara might have sent this to you. I'm not really sure, but this will give you an idea of the tracks that are going to be available to you during the 2-day conference. All right, and when I was actually, or the 3-day conference, when I was there, I was with a friend, and we kept making mistakes and going to the wrong track, but it didn't really matter because nobody cared. Nobody was really paying attention. So even if you decide on one thing and you wander into the wrong classroom, which is really what we did, it ended up being like a blessing in disguise for us because that's where we were supposed to be. But this file, this document about the different tracks at the conference is under content, all right? Okay, and it's this blue button here. I hope you all can see this. Okay, this is the quickest way to get to the discussion forums. You just click on that, and then you can actually see all of them all at once. So the Ask the Class forum is exactly what it says. Okay, so this is a way for you to connect with all your classmates. This is a safe way for you to exchange email addresses, etc. Just reach out to one another. Over here, it will tell you the total number of posts, how many you still have left to read. This is more for me. If you don't want this kind of notification, just ignore it. There's ways to turn it off, and it'll tell you the number of people who are participating. So somebody's already posted a question to me. So if you have any specific questions, ones that you can share, don't share your patents or trade secrets or whatever else, post it in my forum, okay? I'm the only one who's going to be monitoring it. This is excellent. 40 people have already posted to this, your first forum, and this is actually the smallest class I've ever had with VY, so hopefully I'll be able to give you a little bit more personalized attention versus, you know, if there were 200 to 250 of you. So I'm really excited that this is a smaller class. Plus you'll get to know each other very well. Okay, so these are, when you go from the I Made It forum on down, those are the ones that are mandatory, okay? You must post in those forums, and that's the only thing that people will be checking. Nobody's going to be checking your written assignments. That's for your benefit. The other thing I want to point out, there's a button here that says My Grades. Okay, so those of you who posted this morning at like 9 o'clock, you should already have credit for that first discussion forum, and this is where you will see your grades posted, okay? It's pass-fail. You either get full credit or you get no credit because you replied to someone but didn't create your own thread. So make sure you create your own thread, and I'm happy to give you full credit on everything, okay? All right, so I think that's about it. Some of these things that you're seeing on my screen, you won't see on your screen. You should see everything from My Grades on up, all right? And everything else you don't really need to worry about. I'm going to go ahead and look at the questions. Okay, everybody can still hear me. All right, let me backtrack. Okay, so Anita talked about the PTAC and SCORE counselors. Those are just a few of them. VBOC, I know this is in an answer to somebody else's question. There's all sorts of different resource providers out there. So one of them is also the VBOC, and not just them. They're not really counselors, but they're just additional resources like Bunker Labs. What else is out there? The Rosie Network. And you'll hear about these as we move on during the course. And hopefully you all can answer each other's questions throughout the discussion forums, because those have been very valuable as well. Okay, all right, super. If you're not familiar with New York, that's okay. I'm sure you're gonna get a lot out of the conference. And let me see, Pennsylvania, you should have, as long as you type in your state, and I'm pretty sure this is referring to the SBDC, right? Is that right, Siobhan? SBDC? Okay, so yeah, you have a lot of resources there. You have a lot of resources in Pennsylvania. Okay, good. Okay, Valerie, as far as business counselors go, some of them know about VY, some don't. And it doesn't matter if they do or not. There will be some resources available to you after the course ends. They're going to talk about that at the conference, and then there'll be another webinar after the 3-day conference. So either way, you're good. If the counselors know about VYs, great, but you will be getting a lot of email from IVMF as to all the other additional resources that are available to you as a graduate of this course, as well as being an IVMF graduate, okay? There's a lot of them, mentorship and other things, but I don't want to get into that too much tonight. Is it normal for Blackboard to be down and inaccessible? Unfortunately, yes. And it really depends on whether we're all on there at the same time. This happens a lot, late in the evenings and on the weekends. I apologize for this now. Jim is doing the best he can. This is a much smaller class. We shouldn't have this problem. When there were 250 people in the class, oh, it was so aggravating, but we should be good, all right? Okay. I hope that answers your question. Just make sure that you are clearing your history and that you are also using this correct button to log in. I'm constantly having to clear my history just to be able to log in, and I don't have any control over that, and I don't think Syracuse does either, because this is really Blackboard's platform, right? So do the best you can. Okay. The Blackboard site. Here, I'm just going to copy this. Here's the link. Okay, if you copy and paste it from this chat forum to somewhere on your computer, that's the link. I can also include it in my daily email reminders. That's something I need to let you know about. Every day for the next 3 weeks, you will receive a reminder from me about what day we're on, what assignment is due, and anything else important. Like if I'm getting a lot of questions about the same thing, I'm going to email the group. Like today, I didn't realize that the instructions for creating a thread was different from what was actually written. So I was able to fix that because of feedback from a couple of the students. I'm using acronyms that people are not familiar with. Yes, I'm sorry about that. So I'm going to talk about that some more. Let me just close these out. Let me see if I can just pull up a slide. A lot of these you're going to learn about in the homework assignments. So, okay. So here are some resource providers. And I'm just going to go ahead and start typing in some of what I've already talked about. So the small, and these are all on Blackboard too. The Small Business Development Centers, okay. The SBA, okay. These are actually part of your homework assignments. So even though I'm covering it really quickly here, you'll get more of an opportunity to learn about it through each of the different daily assignments. Okay, VBOC stands for the Veterans Business Outreach Center. Okay, and there's even more. There's so much more out there. So as we go through this, especially if this is all new to you, I will slow down and I'm going to actually spell things out. Since I'm not in front of you, I'll just use PowerPoint as my whiteboard, okay? I hope that will work for you all. Okay, good. We're down to the last 5 minutes. I know I went through Blackboard really quickly. Are there any questions about the actual online classroom as well as any of the expectations for phase 1? Okay, those are the questions I can answer. Anything about phase 2 or phase 3, I'm just going to refer you to either Kiara, or for phase 3, I think it might be Elvis. I'm not really sure. Okay, good. We are really looking forward to working with everyone. I've been with IBMF for a long time now. I mean, for somebody who is just a student and who doesn't have an MBA, I'm really excited that they've kept me on this long. I've met a lot of great people through this network. After a while, it just becomes like family. It's just another extension of the military community. So I'm excited for all of you. I won't actually be at the 3-day conference, but I do hope to get to meet some of you in Dallas when they have the Veterans Edge conference in, I think it's March, right? It's on my calendar. It's on my list of things to do. How do we get the login for Blackboard? Colleen, you don't have the login for Blackboard? Hold on one second. Let me just pull this up. If you, did you get an email from, was it Kiara or Jim? Let me pull this up. But your login should be in here. It's in the syllabus. Where is it? If you keep scrolling down in your syllabus, your login to Blackboard is your actual email. Good. Somebody already put it into the chat room. It's your email, and then the password is VWiseBuffalo19. You didn't get an email from Jim? Or not Jim, I think it was Kiara. Really? Okay, I'm gonna, Colleen, can you reach out to me after this? I'm gonna look you up in the classroom and make sure that you're in here, because it may have gone to your spam folder. Let me see if I can find this. That's really unusual. The conference in Texas, the Edge, yes. And if you just Google the Edge or the Veterans Edge, it should come up and you can read about it there. I just want to check one thing. L-E-R-N-E-R, right? Let me see if I can just find you this way. Okay. I might have to come back to this, Colleen, and see if we can make sure you're in here. You're in here. I wonder if they put your okay. I see you in here. I just don't know if you can try logging in using your Gmail account and the VWiseBuffalo19 password. Use the link that's on here and just let me know if you can get in. Okay, super. All right, 2 minutes. What else can I answer for you? The orientation agenda. Jessica, Okay. Everything that you need, Jessica, I know that you just got added to the course today. If you just go to that content section, let me see where I can find it. Oh, okay. If you just go to content, you can download everything else that you need from here. It's the nuts and bolts, the new business road test, introduction to business ownership. So these 3, and then just jump down and then go to the new venture feasibility analysis tool. Okay, I know I only have 1 minute left. I want to click on this. This is what you're going to need, the NAICS industry classification system. Okay, if you're brand new, I want you to look up your competitor and figure out what industry they're competing in. Everybody else you probably already know, but this is where you can find your actual code that you're going to put on your business registration and use for many, many purposes, like requesting reports. What else do we use this for? I'm drawing a blank. Oh, if you're going to be in the contracting space, like on fbo.gov, You can actually pull up all of the people, all of your competitors, just by typing in that NAICS code in here, okay? You can see who are bidding on the same things that you are. So, okay. All right. We're done at 6 o'clock. If you have any other questions, just let me know. Otherwise, I am going to go ahead and end the live stream, and I will see you all online again next Monday, okay? Otherwise, just please reach out to me via email or through the Ask the Expert forum, or we can set up a phone call if you need to. All right? All right, super. Thank you, everyone. It was great to see you all online, and I look forward to seeing you real soon, okay? Take care. Okay, if you're, okay.